An understated gem catches the eye of those who appreciate history in their hands. A coin that has weathered decades and carries the soul of its era. There's something magnetic about a 1976 US. One dime. Its story resonates with the spirit of change and national pride that marked a transformative period in American history. As collectors know, coins can be much more than currency. They are storytellers wrapped in metal, and this dime is no exception. The year 1976 was a turning point, emblematic of both celebration and reflection. The country was in the midst of its bicentennial, and while larger denominations often took center stage in commemorative events, the humble dime quietly echoed the era's intensity. The Roosevelt dime had long been a reliable piece of everyday life since its introduction over 3 decades earlier, yet the 1976 version captured a moment in time, both a continuation of an established legacy and a subtle marker of modern design innovations. Minted during a period of economic shifts and cultural reawakening, the coin not only served as a unit of currency, but also as a miniature historical artifact that reflected the resilience and optimism of its time. One of the first things that make this dime so intriguing is its design. The front features the familiar, dignified portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose leadership during a turbulent period in American history still inspires respect. His gaze, composed and steady, seems to carry a message of endurance, encouraging collectors to look beyond the coin's small size and appreciate the narrative behind it. On the reverse, you see a classic arrangement, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. This imagery is no accident. It symbolizes liberty, peace, and strength. The torch, ever burning, represents enlightenment and the forward march of progress, while the oak and olive branches speak to the duality of might and peace, a reminder of the balancing act that has long defined American values. What sets the 1976 US one dime apart from many of its contemporaries is the subtle refinement introduced at its time of production. Minting methods had evolved by that point, leading to sharper details and a more defined edge compared to earlier issues. This level of craftsmanship appeals to seasoned collectors who value precision and an almost tactile sense of quality when handling coins. Even slight variations in surface texture and edge lettering can hint at the machine's calibration on the production line, a detail that might easily escape the untrained eye but speaks volumes to an experienced collector. Market dynamics for the 1976 dime have shown a steady and enduring appreciation in value over the years. While it functions as legal tender, its real value lies in its rarity and condition. In pristine, mint state, these dimes can command a premium price at auctions, particularly when their luster remains intact. Auction records over the past few years have revealed that top-quality specimens can fetch significantly higher sums compared to coins that have experienced heavy circulation. Of course, the market for collectible coins always fluctuates, with enthusiasts paying close attention to trends. Auction houses that specialize in coin collecting report that a well-preserved 1976 dime often attracts competitive bidding, a testament to its desirability among collectors who understand both its historical context and its numismatic merits. There are plenty of fascinating anecdotes tied to this particular coin. One such story involves a renowned coin dealer who stumbled upon an untouched roll of 1,976 dimes buried in an old safe deposit box. This discovery underscored a recurring theme in the world of rare coins. Every piece carries with it a mystery waiting to be uncovered. The coin's journey from a standard piece of commerce to a prized edition in a private collection mirrors the evolution of American society itself. Stories like these serve as a reminder that even coins considered mundane at the time of their release can later be reinterpreted as rare treasures that capture the imagination of collectors across generations. Another aspect worth mentioning is the variation in value based on the coin's condition. For many collectors, the distinction between a coin that has been in circulation and one preserved in mint state is pivotal. Circulated specimens of the 1976 dime, while still historically significant, tend to be valued much lower than their uncirculated counterparts. The wear and tear on circulated coins often diminishes the clarity of the intricate details that make the design so appealing. By contrast, mint state dimes, with their immaculate surfaces and well-defined features, are sought after by collectors aiming to secure a piece of perfection. It's a prime example of how condition plays a critical role in the numismatic community. Even subtle differences, such as slight imperfections from the minting process or variations that occurred during handling, can either elevate or detract from a coin's collectible value. Collectors who have held onto these coins for decades sometimes speak with great pride about the 1976 dime. Its understated elegance and the quiet power of its design have given it a unique identity among American coins. Unlike flashier commemorative issues that come in limited editions and with elaborate packaging, the 1976 dime's appeal rests in its simplicity and the subtle nod it gives to a historic era. The coin encapsulates a blend of tradition and innovation, reminding us that even the smallest items can hold layers of meaning when viewed through a numismatist's lens. The broader historical significance of this coin also lies in its connection to the evolution of U.S. minting technology. By the mid-1970s, the U.S. Mint was refining its production methods to produce sharper and more consistent coins. This was an era when the push for improved quality was evident in the striking details across all denominations. In a way, the 1976 dime serves as a time capsule of minting excellence, a snapshot of a pivotal moment when old techniques meshed with emerging technology to produce coins that would stand the test of time. For those who have long appreciated the interplay between historical context and industrial advancement, this coin represents a masterclass in design and production that is still celebrated today. In discussions among veteran collectors, there is an ongoing debate about the subtle differences that can be found among coins from the same year. Even within the 1976 issues, some dimes carry minuscule variations that may be attributable to differences in production runs or the specific mint where they were struck. These nuances often become the subject of lively discussions at collectors' events and online forums, where experts dissect photos and share personal experiences regarding their finds. Such a vibrant community dialogue reinforces the idea that every coin has a story that extends far beyond its simple existence as a monetary unit. Instead, it becomes part of a wider narrative, a mosaic of American history and personal memory that grows richer with each passing generation. When we consider the impact of condition on the coin's long-term value, there is an undeniable allure to those dimes that have preserved their original luster. Coins that were carefully stored or displayed tend to command a higher value in the market, attracting both seasoned investors and new entrants who are eager to get a piece of this legacy. Professional grading services play a crucial role here, as they assess minute details and imperfections that could influence the appraisal. For collectors, the satisfaction of owning a coin graded in the highest tiers is immense. It's not just about the monetary worth, but the recognition of holding something that has been deemed virtually untouched by time. In sum, the 1976 U.S. one dime is not just another coin in your collection. It is a vibrant chapter of American history cast in metal. Its blend of artistic finesse, historical significance, and subtle production nuances elevates it from everyday money to a treasured collectible. As collectors pore over its details and compare notes on its finer points, they are reminded that every coin has a story worth telling, one that unfolds across decades and captures the essence of an evolving nation. Now let's move forward in time, over 2 decades later, to a coin that has stirred up curiosity and admiration for reasons most people wouldn't expect, the 1999 U.S. one dime. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary Roosevelt dime, indistinguishable from the handfuls that passed through pockets and purses during the turn of the millennium. But in the world of numismatics, the 1999 dime holds secrets, some subtle, others remarkable, that have made it a subject of fascination for experienced collectors and a quiet sleeper hit in the rare coin market. 1999 was a year that carried a certain buzz. The world was stepping into a new digital era. Y2K fears were brewing. The U.S. economy was booming. And amid all that energy and change, the U.S. Mint continued producing its standard coins, quietly, efficiently, and, for the most part, predictably. But this is where things get interesting. While the Roosevelt dime's design had remained largely unchanged since 1946, certain minting quirks in 1999 created a ripple that has grown over time. Not every dime struck that year is remarkable. but the rare ones that stand out do so with enough authority to command five-figure prices under the right conditions. Let's start with the key features that make a 1999 dime potentially valuable. First off, the Philadelphia minted 1999 Roosevelt dime is known to have several noteworthy die varieties. Among the most famous is the 1999 P wide AM reverse. Although this term is more widely associated with cents, the interest in spacing anomalies extended to dimes due to heightened scrutiny from collectors during the transitional period of the late 90s and early 2000s. In fact, the scrutiny around minting details during this era led to the discovery of more double die obverse (DDO) examples across denominations, including the dime. A strong DDO on the 1999 dime, though incredibly rare, significantly boosts its value. Another standout detail is the exceptional quality of some business strike dimes from that year. Coins that somehow emerged from standard circulation with nearly proof-like surfaces. These were not intended as special issues, but their mirror-like fields and crisp devices suggest a confluence of perfect conditions: fresh dies, precise striking pressure, and flawless planchets. Collectors often chase these anomaly coins because they reflect a moment of unintended perfection in a system designed for mass production. Now let's talk market value, which is where things get really compelling. Most circulated 1999 dimes will be worth face value, of course. But when you get into mint state territory, especially high-grade examples graded MS-68 or higher, you enter an entirely different ballpark. These coins are extremely difficult to find because the dime's small surface area makes it vulnerable to nicks, dings, and contact marks. A 1999 P. Roosevelt dime in top-tier condition, with strong luster and minimal flaws, has sold at auction for over $1,000. If it carries a recognized variety, such as a strong DDO or a full bands designation on the reverse, indicating fully struck horizontal lines on the torch's bands, that price can jump significantly. For example, dimes with full bands in MS-68 have been known to bring in bids upwards of $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the market climate and buyer interest. It's worth highlighting how grading and condition play a huge role in the 1999 dime's desirability. Collectors who understand the subtle grading nuances, strike sharpness, surface preservation, luster quality, know just how elusive a near-perfect example is. While the U.S. Mint struck hundreds of millions of dimes that year, only a tiny fraction survived in pristine condition. Most coins were scooped up into circulation and met the usual fate: vending machines, change jars, parking meters. The ones that escaped that path, preserved in rolls or bags by keen-eyed collectors, are the true treasures. Some stories from the field underscore just how thrilling this search can be. There's a well-circulated tale among collectors of someone finding an MS-68 full bands 1999 dime in a sealed bankroll they had forgotten in a drawer for over a decade. Stories like these fuel the dream for longtime enthusiasts who know that incredible finds sometimes hide in plain sight. The excitement of stumbling upon such a coin doesn't fade with experience. It's part of what keeps the hobby alive. Another fascinating angle on the 1999 dime is how it sits on the cusp of technological transition. In the late 90s, the U.S. Mint was adopting more advanced quality control and die production techniques, which would soon lead to major shifts in coin design and production efficiency. Yet during that in-between period, occasional imperfections slipped through, and some coins, like certain 1999 dimes, benefited from these fleeting lapses or transitional processes. That's part of what gives this coin its appeal. It wasn't supposed to be special, but under the microscope of a seasoned collector, its uniqueness becomes clear. And don't overlook the appeal of error coins from 1999. Though not common, some misstruck dimes, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and broad strikes have surfaced from this year and brought a premium when verified by reputable grading services. Errors combined with high-grade preservation make for a particularly potent combination in the market. These kinds of finds add flavor to the broader story of the 1999 dime. They show how a seemingly ordinary coin can become a centerpiece of a personal collection when the right factors align. Even outside of recognized errors or ultra-high grades, certain nuances can affect the value. Toner dimes from 1999, coins that developed striking, colorful toning over the years, are becoming increasingly popular among collectors who appreciate aesthetic uniqueness. A natural rainbow-toned dime with strong luster can sometimes sell for several times more than a standard untuned coin of the same grade, simply because of its eye appeal. It's a reminder that rarity comes in many forms, not just mintage numbers or varieties, but in how a coin presents itself to the human eye. Ultimately, what makes the 1999 US one dime worth talking about is that it defies expectations. It wasn't a commemorative issue. It didn't mark a national celebration or feature a design change. And yet, it holds its own as one of the more intriguing modern-era coins, precisely because its rarity lies in the details. To the average person, it looks just like any other Roosevelt dime. But to the experienced eye, it's a coin that rewards scrutiny and patience. A sleeper coin with genuine investment potential and the kind of backstory that makes collecting so endlessly rewarding. From full bands to proof-like surfaces, from subtle double dyes to vibrant toning, the 1999 dime presents a buffet of qualities that appeal to a wide range of collectors. And as time moves on, its value continues to solidify, not just in dollars, but in its role as a reminder that even the smallest coin, if preserved or minted under just the right conditions, can rise above the crowd. So while it might not carry the obvious historical weight of an older silver coin, the 1999 dime has carved out its own niche in the collecting world. It's proof that value doesn't always come with age. It often comes with rarity, with condition, and with the kind of hidden story that only becomes clear once you really start paying attention.